Starting off with Scuff again. I see. I forgot to add the microphone. I forgot to add the audio input capture. I forgot to add that. But yeah. So I just said a bunch of stuff while muted. Whale. But yeah. So basically, I purchased this on Etsy. And I did make sure to kind of check. Make sure it wasn't, AI. But yeah. This is by Moko Studio on Etsy. And in the About on my Twitch, I have a panel that has all of the stuff that I did not make myself. This is currently the only thing in there. But yeah. For pretty much any and all things that I did not make myself. Which in the future will probably include like model art, depending on if I commission someone to make a new model for me. After of course, I debut my Live 2D model. Like, yeah. Any and all assets that I did not make myself will be in there. It's understandable that you were busy. January is kind of a hectic time of year. Including for me. January's tend to kind of suck. But also, it's also pretty much the birthday month for my family. And fun fact, on my mom's birthday, which is January 28th, I was pretty much passed out for like the whole entire day. I went to bed at 3 a.m. because the day before was my brother's birthday and my parents went out up to see him. I stayed up until they got home. Stayed up for like an hour or so. So after they got home, went to bed. And I woke up at 6 p.m. I slept for like 15 hours. Which is kind of funny, because I rarely sleep that long. The most I ever really sleep is like 12 hours. There's an airplane. Hello, airplane. Will you please leave? It's gone now. But yeah. On Sunday I was just conked out. Which I probably needed the rest. So yeah, that was kind of my Sunday. And then of course, yesterday when I went up to my in-person class, I of course consistently forget to check the announcements and stuff to see if we actually have class, and it was not an in-person class. That's that day. There was no class that day. So I sat for a little bit confused, and my mom picked me up. So yeah. And also, I've been writing things. Many things. A good amount of things. So yeah. And it kind of popped. It was a kind of fan fiction, which I haven't actually written in a while. Like, I think the last time I wrote any fanfic was like last year or 2 years ago. And it kind of popped off a bit on Tumblr. And I gained a writing mutual through it. It was just like, this is so good! So, yeah. That's kind of what's been going on. And, for the past week. But, yeah, I wanted to show off his stuff. So, and this does have a static. I'm gonna move myself away so y'all can, like, see it more. This is the animated version. It does, of course, have a static version. And if I move chat's jail, there's even more stuff. Yeah. I'm not playing anything in today. Hey, I'm doing art. Which, well, bam. I'm going to design a character for a game. Actually, technically, there's another character that I have yet to really design. And it's Hydrangea. Which I probably need to, like, grab a sprite of the Empress of Light. Like, to do that. Let's turn on the music. And turn it down a little bit. So, yeah. And I might kind of change this, like, the QPR thing, because for her dog, and I should probably also move my camera. Which, let me do that. Make sure the cords are not, like, super fucked. Oops, I accidentally turned the light on it. On. There we go. But also, I kind of fucked around with my Stream Deck a little bit. So, there's the first page is, of course, my scenes and stuff, and opening up Streamlabs and VC Face. And the next page I have, like, it's going to be like the soundboard, like goofy ass sounds like that. In case someone says something like really weird, or I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, if I'm like playing a game, they get the Vine Boom. Also, if y'all have like any ideas for like the soundboard, I think I have a channel for suggestions. I just have game suggestions. Okay. Save changes. And there we go. And let's also casually plug the Discord. And for Lily, because she is kind of a lab tech, one of the most important things to her is like in the lab wearing lab safe clothing. So I have lab safe clothing and literally searched up in images because it's been a while since I've, had to deal with anything close to it. So, yeah. I'm probably going to, make a bust up first. And also, there is kind of some lore that I kind of further developed on my little memo pad. No, not memo pad, my notes app. And it's about something more kind of specific to kind of spoiler-ish territory, but I haven't really don't really have much of substance to the story yet, so I feel like I can't explain it because I also have written a bit of a drabble little thingy, which is probably, if I make it a novel, which I'm probably going to have like 2 versions of the novel. One that is like the safe for work version, and another that is not safe for work. Yeah. If you want to experience the story but not really deal with anything not safe for work, that's the version you get. And I'll make the covers different, like very noticeably different, so you know which version you are getting. And also kind of have like subtext saying safe for work version, not safe for work version. Because this is going to be kind of a light novel. So basically, it's going to be like a young adult or like adult. It's probably going to be like rated for adult, to be honest. And I have a bunch of like references for like possible outfits and also hairstyles. Both of like wigs and stuff, but also from this game called Coco PPA Play, which I did play for a bit, like, years ago. Back when I was in, like, middle school, I think. Which was years ago as well. So, yeah. And I still have to kind of write the concept for the chapters. And of course, this is like for the game. The novel, the chapters are going to be grouped into like the big chapter sections. Like, based on kind of what and I'm going to try and make the chapter titles like relevant to what happens in the chapters, because just having a catchy title for the chapter isn't really good when you want your readers to figure out what is going on. Like, but yeah. A catchy title for a chapter is good, but if you don't want to leave your readers confused, it's best if you have the chapter titles be at least somewhat relevant to the story. And yeah. So currently I kind of have like an idea for the prologue. I'll read it off for y'all. I have a little morsel of an idea. So it goes like this. Minister Patchouli Gimla, shaken in by the church at a young age and growing up within its confines, is supervising the entrance to the main hall. Her duty is simple: prevent the vindictive mother of the groom from crashing the wedding. She does so using her eldritch abilities, not knowing that there was a witness hiding. A week after the event, a detective comes to the church after the service to ask about Patchouli. So yeah, that's kind of like the basis of the story. And of course there is going to be a little scene or a little chapter before that, like a little cutscene, in where her Dahlia is taken in by the church. Wait, no, not Dahlia. Where Patchouli is taken in by the church and like with the help of her sister Dahlia. And it's the last time she meets Dahlia. And of course they have different names. And the prologue has a title as well, Avandula Spica. And that's based off Patchouli's previous name before she became Patchouli. She basically kind of abandoned her name. Kind of like to fully sever her ties to her mother And there is also other reasons as to why she left. But those are kind of more explained later on. Like, other than her mother being kind of vindictive and neglectful. So, yeah. So, Lily is the lab tech. I should probably add that. I should probably also, like, make a concept for her eye. So, I also want to show off so I made some progress on Osmi, and I literally just downloaded some pictures of Zhongli from Genshin Impact so I could figure out a color palette. Also, this looks great, but it's a blue-gray. And she's kind of meant to have, like, so she's kind of meant to have, like, Chinese origins. Like, her name is quite literally a reference to Zhongli, to his Osmanthus wine line. And her last name, Shi Jing, comes from it basically means crystal in Chinese. Because I kind of just looked up what the translation for citrine would be in Chinese, and it's Huan Shi Jing, and I believe. But of course, I removed the Huan part because I wasn't really sure if I could really add it to her last name. But yeah, she is kind of meant to be a bit of a goofy character. Like, she is probably going to be the subject of many shitposts. And just goofy stuff in general. Like meme redolls. But, yeah. And she also has some lore that is kind of spoilery. But if you know anything about how the character she's a reference to, you probably have some clue as to what she is going to be. Also, I did have an original skin tone for her, but I felt that it was a little too dark. So I kind of just color dropped from Zhongli's skin tone and combined it to make a lighter skin tone. But anyway, back to Lily. So she's kind of meant to be like a close friend of Dahlia. Like one of the first people in the agency Dahlia meets. And of course I have like an animation meme that I plan on making with Dahlia and Patchouli. Kind of like a little teaser of like their relationship. And if you know anything about it was kind of hard to like find the animation meme because several people have made versions of it with a certain content creator that has been canceled for very justifiable reasons. I'm not saying their name. Him though. Yeah, it's the Epoch animation meme. And I kind of had to like do a Boolean search in order to get results that weren't of that creator. So yeah. I have a bunch of sticky notes. And I also need to add the horns to Patchouli on her character profile. Like over here, because the horns are a more recent addition. So yeah. And I also forgot to draw her goddamn glasses. She's meant to have glasses. And I forgot. I fucking forgot. The glasses. It'll be alright. Hello, Dino Shart. Thank you for the first time chat. I'm just gonna call you Dino. But yeah. And I also need to replace the nib on this eventually. But yeah, and I also need to give her a last name too. I'm done. But of course I'll have to like, I don't want to go with like a generic white last name. Because for Patchouli and Dahlia, I went with just kind of Fire Emblem references, which are Also references to like Nordic mythology. Wait. I am talking. Do you not hear me? Hold on. Hear me now? It should be working. Oh god fucking damn it. Give me a moment. I'm 20 years old. I can curse. Okay. Sometimes being the daughter of the sailor means you have the mouth of a sailor. Comes with life. But yeah. Did you even read the rules? Just bunking you. Like, if you read the rules say don't complain and about me not talking too much because I'm not like a super talkative person. Like, it's not really in my nature to like talk like the whole time because my voice would fry. Let's move this up. erase the eyeball. Flip horizontal. But yeah, this should be good, even though the eye is a little wonky. I'm going to make the peakers a little smaller. I can, you know, put them over here. To the side. So I'm also going to pick some colors. And now skin tones. So Lily is going to have a bit of a darker skin tone. Compared to, like, the other characters. And I am, of course, going to also pick colors from other places. Like some of the palettes. Glad you like my art. Now let's pick out some possible colors for the hair. This is skin tones. It looks a little too anyone a little confused, all I can really say is just trust the process. Even if it's a little disastrous of a process. And now let's go onto the half body. So I'm probably going to also like condense this text a little bit so that it's more like part of this side of the canvas. This is mostly like a gesture. Yeah. I'm glad you think it looks great. But it's kind of all about the process. And this kind of thingy is meant to represent the fingers, like. They kind of go like that. Opening donations goal? Yeah, I still have to set it up. Because, like, I need to open up a savings account or a checking account, I think before I set up my donations. I will announce on my Twitter and Discord when my donations go live. Because that's probably going to be like one of the few ways that I can be supported monetarily for a bit, other than like my throne. Nobody is donating because the donations haven't been set up. It's understandable if you don't want to donate. I'm not right now, as I still have to both set up the tip donation page, and also I need to actually set up, like, Stripe or something, so that I can actually get the donations. But I do the program I use to draw, it's Clip Studio Paint EX. On the perpetual license, so I don't get any updates. But yeah. I've been using this program for like a year or now. Ever since 2.0 came out. And now 3.0 is coming out soon, which means I'll have to upgrade. And yes, I also made my VTuber model. And I also made the Live 2D model, which I am working on the rigging in Live 2D. But I made this model in Vroid Studio, which is free on Steam. So yeah. I am in fact disabled. In many ways, he's mostly invisible. I'm not accepting commissions. Mostly because I'm kind of in the middle of a semester for college right now. And commissions would take time away from that. But I do plan on doing commissions in the future. It's just that right now, with school and stuff, it's not really a possibility. I'm currently attending college, actually. Like, the semester began last month. So, yeah. During that time, I usually stream, depending on what, like, in-person classes I have. Because it kind of depends. Like, if I am, for example, so for like my previous few semesters, because I had classes on from Monday through Thursday. So I only really streamed on Fridays. During those semesters, if I streamed at all. But during breaks, I stream more. Yeah. A fictional world? That's a tough question. Because that's kind of from my perspective as someone who is, you know, disabled, you know, both the fact that I'm neurodivergent, being autistic and having ADHD, and the fact that I also have asthma. I like to live in a world that is both accommodating for my disabilities and also one where I can, you know, have access to medication to help with my disability, you know, or at least live in a world that is understanding of said disabilities. Because dragons and magic is cool, but if I don't have access to an inhaler, I'm probably not gonna want to live in that world for long. You're asking a lot of questions, and I'm not going to answer that one. Because it's kind of personal, and I don't really have much of an example to give you. Yeah, feel free to leave. Just so you know, streamers are not obligated to answer, like, all of your questions, regardless of their size. Because we kind of have personal space. Like, if you wouldn't ask a random stranger on the street those questions, it's probably not a good idea to, like, ask those to a streamer. That looks like a good place where the hand would go. But just in case, I'm going to move that a little higher up. And let's do the flippies. The flip floops. You're asking a lot of personal questions. It's kind of inappropriate to do that. Especially since I don't really know you and you don't really know me. Sorry, but I kind of have to, like, do my duty as a streamer to kind of make this a safe space. It's for both myself and my viewers. Sorry, but you gotta get bonked by the banhammer. And let's go to this. Some Stardew Valley. The OST. But anyway, let's move the eye over here. Turn off the gesture. Oh. I forgot Ron layer. I think I'm going to make the head bigger. Looks a little too small for the body. Okay. Now I'm going to sew from what I see, the main thing is like for a top, you wear either a long sleeve shirt or a t-shirt. You have to wear long pants and closed-toed shoes. So yeah. Now to Pinterest. And close references. I'm gonna go with pink. So I am, of course, looking at a reference. References are an artist's best friend. Hello, Alex. How are you? Doing pretty well. Unfortunately, I did have to bonk someone with the band hammer earlier, which kind of sucks. It's usually bots that get the band hammer, but this was not a bot. At least I don't think so. It was just a chatter asking a little too many questions that felt a little too personal. Like stuff you'd ask in a job interview. Or what a psychologist would ask you. And I'm pretty sure they didn't read the rules because they complained about me cursing. Don't worry, you're fine. It's just that it was a little too much. And he questions. Like it was some kind of interview or something. Or they were doing an assignment, but they didn't realize that. Yeah. Hopefully they do. I did time them out though, and they continued. So yeah. But yeah. I've mostly banned bots, actually. Like, The bots that go like, we can help you get more viewers. Or like they're trying to promote their art. Yeah, those are indeed annoying. Especially since I have no mods. And I probably might need... Now that I'm getting close to affiliate, I probably need to, like, have a few mods. Especially in, like, the Discord server. Because sometime recently, there was kind of a scammer that I eventually had to, like, bonk and block. Those can indeed be annoying. Yeah. I do plan on probably, like, having mod applications. But yeah. And I can also do VIP, you know, but you can't be a VIP and a mod. I can probably ask one of my friends, you know, Saibodi. I can probably ask him if I can make him a mod in my chat, you know, just in case. Yeah. I'm mostly just trying to nail down a design for this character. Which I literally had to look up I had to look up, like, what would be considered lab safe. Like, lab safe clothing, because she is kind of a lab tech. And one of the things about being a lab tech is you need to dress in a way that is kind of lab safe. And I'm putting her hair up in a bun because it's probably a good idea to have your hair tied up when in the lab. But yeah, I might make this a graphic tee. But I'm not fully sure. But she is kind of has this dynamic with Dahlia, Patchouly's sister, because they joined around the same time. She joined sometime before Dahlia as a lab assistant and for her major, because STEM girls. And yeah. So basically, the lore behind them, as kind of their relationship dynamic, is that Lily is kind of like a really caring person, and she isn't like Dahlia though, because Dahlia has a tendency to like take in new recruits as like it's kind of like, I guess I'm a big sister now. And which Dahlia mostly does because she wants to be a good sister to Patchouly when they reunite. It's kind of just like preparation and for like so she can be a good sister. And Fennel's family also kind of takes her in like a daughter. So this is Dahlia. So right now I have 6 characters. Those are Patchouly, Fennel, Lily, Osmanthus, Hydrangea, Dahlia, and I think I said Lily earlier. And there's going to be a few more, including some of Fennel's siblings. And one of Fennel's siblings is he is of course the oldest of his siblings. And there is a bit of an age gap between him and his siblings, because especially like the youngest, because there's kind of like twins or triplets in after him. So, yeah. And one of his siblings is a trans man, like roughly 5 years younger than Fennel, and he is kind of like counting the days until he is legally able to medically transition. And his name is also a Fire Emblem reference, but his reference is a little more specific. It's a character whose name is literally Leaf. L-I-E... Ellie... I forgot the name of the character, but it is pronounced Leaf. And But yeah, I kind of wanted to include some characters who are in the LGBT community, like confirmed and such, kind of as a little treat. And also because I can. Hold on, I think I have the character's name somewhere. Leif is the spelling of Leif for the little brother. So, Leif is socially transitioned in the story, but because he was a minor when he began transitioning, like realizing that he felt more comfortable as a man, he couldn't really like trying to start testosterone or get top surgery. So, yeah. So Leif is kind of counting down the days until he can medically transition. Because a good portion of his dysphoria comes from, like, his voice. Like, of course he is doing vocal training, but like teaching himself to sound more masculine, but he wants to be able to sound like that naturally. Like have his voice be naturally masculine, which one of the effects of testosterone is that it makes your voice deeper, like for hormone replacement therapy, from what I know. So, yeah. And, yeah. That's basically Leif. I have to design him, of course. I'm probably going to, like, do some P-Crews of him. And also name and design Fennel's family. Because basically yeah, 5? What does the 5 mean? What does it mean? And part of me was kind of unsure. Part of me is still a little unsure about how many siblings I should give Fennel. Because originally I wanted to give him like 4 siblings because that's the amount of siblings my mom has. And my mom is a middle child. But she wasn't really like ignored because she had, you know, severe asthma as a child. So she couldn't really like fade into the background like a lot of people think middle children do, because she had the last sentence. Oh. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah. But yeah. And part of that, the reason why I wanted to add like a trans character, part of it is because this is my story and I get to choose how my characters are represented and what they can represent, but also because I kind of wanted to show more representation of minorities, at least when it comes to like neurodivergence and disabilities and yeah, it's kind of just like, I know how it feels to not really feel represented in the media because I'm autistic. And I've literally written a whole fucking research paper about autistic representation in the media and how it's flawed. Which, I'll have to redact some stuff like my name and the name of my school and my teacher. But I might upload it to like Google Drive or something. Oh, I just realized this color palette is a little too familiar. It looks a little too similar to another character. This one. Which, yeah, kind of like this is kind of close to the color palette of her outfit. And I think I'm going to change this so it's a little more pink. And I might make this like a graphic tee with like some text. Or probably like some little drawing. And depending on how popular the game gets, I might make like merch of it as well. So you can kind of wear it with so you can cosplay her. And also make it kind of affordable as well, since it'll be like a graphic tee. Okay. Prepare stuff for a meeting tomorrow. Good luck. Hope you have a great night. See you later. But yeah, I kind of want to give her like a darker skin tone. But yeah, see you later. It kind of as like a point of contrast. And And she's kind of meant to be like, from what I think, from when I was like making her, she's kind of meant to be like Southeast Asian, I think. Like Filipino, which there's a pretty high Filipino population where I live, because like a lot of Navy people live in my area. And also because I have a lot of Filipino classmates, at least from my high school days. Like, a good portion of, like, my Asian classmates were, like, Filipino. At least in high school. And it has been like 2 years since then, so yeah. Like, I've only really had like 2 Japanese classmates. And one of them was an exchange student from Japan. And this was back when, during the 2019-2020 school year, and we all know what happened in 2020. I think this skin tone looks good. So this looks kind of good. I think I'm going to change this. And this looks good. I'm proud of the result I have. I can probably like remove the P Cruise and move these over there. Color concepts move there. Move these closer. But yeah. Ugh. It's been like 2 hours. And yeah. mind changing the QPR thing. Not because I don't want to add a QPR or to any of my stories, because I do. It's just that in the story, I realized that it wouldn't really make sense for Dahlia to be in a romantic relationship right now, because she is kind of mostly focused on trying to reunite with her sister. And I feel like her being in a relationship it would be a good excuse to make some tension. But it wouldn't really make sense for, her to... Yeah. So I'm going to take a small break since it's been nearly 2 hours and I've pretty much been in front of my screen all this time. I shall put on the BR back screen and I'm gonna do some stuff. I return every young. I return every young. I return. So yeah. So now let's go to Hydrangea. So Hydrangea is kind of complicated. So I'm going to look up a reference of the Empress of Light and Webp, my sworn enemy. Okay, JPEG. There we go. Subview. The file name is a bunch of gibberish. But yeah, I wanted to kind of have the color palette for the Empress of Light as kind of a reference. And I do have another P-Crew that I made Hate of Her. Let's just move those over to the P-Crew folder. I'm not going to show it though. Because I just don't feel like it. So yeah, this is Hydrangea. She works at a cafe. And basically she is the consequences of she kind of despises Patchouli and Dahlia's mother for what she has done to her people. But yeah. And for her Dahlia and Patchouli, they're kind of just like they knew that their mom was kind of a bad person, like from the get-go. Like, they knew she's always been kind of horrible. But they weren't fully aware of the extent of their mom's horribleness. Which they quickly learn the extent of it through Hydrangea. It's kind of just like very intense lore. And she also has a long tongue, just like Patchouli. And the inside of her mouth and her tongue are yellow. Kind of a callback to the Empress of Light, which her design is kind of based on. At least a little bit with like the colors. But yeah. So yeah. She's Hydrangea kind of has like a middle part, but the Widow's Peak most likely. And I'm going to color pick some colors. And apparently the Empress of Light is a very big Toho reference. Especially with like how her battle is like, because there's kind of a bullet hell. So yeah, that is kind of her. What am I tracking? Wah. And let's move that to blip. Let's make this a little... She is going to have horns as well. But I'm not sure if I should make them, like, broken. So yeah. So, yeah. And there is some other, like, world building stuff. Like, kind of involving... So, I did kind of nail down a kind of concept for, like, what species Dahlia, Patchouli, and Hydrangea are part of. They're basically deities. And as I'm kind of taking inspiration from Witch Spring 3. And basically they're kind of like gods. Which means they're kind of way more powerful than a regular human or a mortal. And they are capable of dying. I like to make that very, very clear that these gods are capable of being killed. And, yeah. Usually other gods end up doing the killing. But, yeah. So, they have titles as well. So, I have them on my notes. So, Patchouli is known as, her title is the Observer, or the Witness, or the All-Seeing. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but I have the Observer because the patches on her body turn into eyes. If there's a kind of eye placed somewhere, there's an eye on her body corresponding to it. And Dahlia is known as the Scarlet Rage because she's a bit violent. Hydrangea is the Lightborn Blade. It's a Terraria reference to the Terra Prisma. And they also have essences. And it's transferred through a consumptive act. And it can crystallize. And crystallized essences are usually like thrown up. And of course, they have to be cleaned before being consumed. And mortals who consume too much of an essence can experience bouts of madness or just die. They get unalived, basically. Because, consuming too much of an essence is not a good idea. You have to be kind of cautious about it. But the big thing about the consuming of an essence is that it has to be consensual from, like, both parties, especially the mortal consuming it. Because if not, especially if, like, a crystallized essence is hidden in food, the food will be thrown up and the essence not consumed. So, yeah. And not a lot is kind of known about it, partially because I haven't really thought too much about it. But one of the main things that the consumption of essences allows someone immortal to do is to telepathically communicate with the god they got the essence from. And Dahlia and Lily did this with crystallized essence, so they have a telepathic link. And Patchouli probably does it with Fennel in the future, or in the story. So but yeah. And eventually I'll figure out the placement of all the eyes on Patchouli. But for now, I'm just going to work on some of her outfits. And these are, of course, her glasses. Hmm. Hmm. I think I'm going to end this about here. Or I will figure out what to do for tomorrow. But yeah. So let's get everything out of the way. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who came here today. I will be here tomorrow, but it's entirely possible that I'm probably just going to just spend the time. I'm working on assignments and stuff. Because, yeah. If I stream tomorrow, I'll be here at 1 p.m. EST or 1300. But yeah, I'll be here sometime tomorrow. Bye, everyone.